Hey guys, so I'm gonna do this tutorial real quick on my ATC card for my ATC swap. As you can see, this is the card that it came up with, and this is the one I came up with last night. This one was like for fun. I wanted to try something else, so I think I'm gonna go with this one right here. And what I did is I ended up distressing the sides and inking it up a little. I distressed it with my fingernail, so you'll see all that, and you can tell that I've been working. I'm all inked up. So basically what I did is I used the Autumn Splendor cardstock, the one that you can get just the basic colors. It's on clearance right now at Michael's for $9.98, so go check it out. So I just used the yellow, the orange, and the red, and then I just did the sentiment. I put it on a white cardstock but painted it the same color here, so I'll show you all that. And I will show you the stamps now that I used. So I used this stamp from Snag'em right here. It's just a sleeve stamp. And I used the tree stamp from the dollar spots at Michael's, which is, let me grab it, this one right here. And remember, this one has that sentiment. I'm not using the sentiment or the bling because it doesn't go with the fall. So basically what I did was I stamped the leaves on the cardstock, and I just cut them out. So this is how I did it, so you guys can kind of get an idea of how it's going to be. Each card is going to be just a little bit different. So I stamped it a couple times, and I went and you see here I cut out certain leaves, and that's what I'm just gonna do, alternate it. So we're gonna grab an ATC card. You can make your own ATC card, or you can buy your ATC cards. So here's this 2.5 by 3.5, and it's just white, and I wanted that color. So what I took is my Glimmer Mist in the Sun-Kissed Peach, and I got it ready. I got it all shooked up, and I just painted it on instead of going and spraying it on, because I don't have a heating tool, so I don't know, I don't want it to mess up on me while I'm doing the work, because it's not going to dry. It's not going to be so dry. I'm going to have to leave it drying overnight, and I don't have the time. So I just painted it on, and I kind of like the painted look versus the blotchy look, or like the spray look for this project. I've done the spray ones for tags, and it's great. It's just for the ATC card, I didn't want it to take away from what I'm doing. So basically now that what I'm doing is just painting on the Glimmer Mist. I started from the middle and came out. It doesn't have to be perfect. Fall is not perfect. I mean, you don't have all the red leaves in one pile, all the yellow leaves in the other. You don't have all that. Fall is like just random. So, and that's what I think of when I think of fall. I think of fallen leaves that are just randomly, blown about. So that's why I'm not doing this very perfect. Each card will be a little bit different with the technique, or with the way that it looks. And I like that. I mean, nothing, who says that in art everything has to be uniform? You don't take a ruler to your canvas and start, doing the lines and all that. You just start drawing. If it doesn't come out straight, it doesn't, because you know what? Each artist has their own take on things. So here is the ATC card now that it's all painted up, and basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let it air dry, and then I'll put it underneath the heavy book. Now for this, I started with on a white cardstock. I just stamped a bunch of times, and I just cut it out to the size that I wanted it. And what I did was I went ahead and I painted it as well with the Glimmer Mist. So I'm going to grab a dry card. Pretty dry. So here's my ATC card, and then you know what, I'll grab the other one because the other one's dry. There you go. I have a few. Okay, so this one's dry, and what I did was I took my tree stamp, and I took my color Bach, and this is in the dark brown. Right here. It's in the dark brown, and I just went ahead and stamped up or inked up my stamp. So I'm gonna do that off camera real quick, just so I can get a better coating. Oops. There we go. I wish there was a little bit easier way to do this. Like if I had a better tripod or a bigger area to work with. So basically I'm going to position this where I want it. So I'm just going to stamp it really quick. I'm sorry if you can't see me, but I'm trying to watch the project to make sure I'm stamping correctly. So I'm just pressing down. And here's what I came up with. It's a little bit different than the other one. Some more of the leaves are coming off, but I like that look. I like the leaves coming off of it. So I'm gonna, so I don't dry up my ink pad, cover it up, put it to the side. So you see here, and each one's going to be just a tad bit different. Next I'm going to take my leaves. Now I want to do the layered look, and as you see here, I cut out the little stems, because the stems is something that I don't worry about. I can just stamp the image down here and have the stems coming from the paper. So I just stamped it. Doesn't have to be perfectly inked or stamped up. And I'm going to just stamp it off camera real quick, because you're going to do that layered look. It doesn't matter if part of the image is missing or something, just as long as you have the most important parts, which are the stems. So here I'm just going to take my little leaves, and I have glue dots here, or the 3-dimensional dots that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to add them. So I'm just going to do this really quick off camera. And so simple and easy to do. And I'm just doing that really quick. You know what? I'll put up the music just a little bit, so you guys can kind of hear some music. I really don't like Rihanna. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of beef from that. But I really don't like Rihanna, but that's what's on Pandora right now. So, and it takes a couple seconds for it to jump to the next song. So I'm almost done. I'm just getting the dots put in the back here so we can move to the next step. My fingers are very dirty. I'm hoping this ink comes off really easy from the skin. It's been a while since I've done a little bit of stamping, since my first mini album. So I can't remember how I got the ink so easy off that time. Oh, and if you guys know what is the easiest way to get it off, because I don't want to use alcohol every time. I think I used alcohol last time. I don't like doing that. It dries out my skin really bad, and for some reason in fall my skin always gets extremely dry. The start of spring and fall, it gets really dry. Or not fall, but like winter, going into fall going into winter. Alright, so I have my dots here, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take back the backing off. Did it come off? Yeah. And then this is a tip. I can't remember who I learned it from, and I wish I remembered so I can give them the props. But I just took a glossy accents, and I'm going to add a little tiny dab at the back of my dots, and it gives it more of a adhere. And also, if your paper has grooves or is kind of textured, it'll be so much better to have something to give it more, you know, so it can stick. Because after a while, these dots do give up. They start popping off. So you want to try to prolong the use of them. So next, I'm doing this one, and I'm just layering it over the stamped image. I don't want the stamped image. I wanted to give it some color. So here's what I'm doing. And then right here, and then here's the last one. So this is like the easiest part in here, because from here everything starts going together. So you just want to add a little bit of glossy accents to the back of your card. Just press it down for a second. So you see here, now we got the card coming together. Next we have the sentiment. Now I don't have any distressing tools or anything like that. So what I'm going to take, let me get this out of my way. What I'm going to take is I'm just going to take a Q-tip. I'm just going to dip it in the center, or the side. Get it a little bit inked up. Dip it in. And then I'm just going to do the sides. You know, it's nothing perfect. I just want the sides to have a little bit more dimension. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just doing it so it gives me a little bit more of oomph. Like something's there. And you can tell something's there. So there we go. And you see there? So I'm going to take these other dimensions, dimensionals, the square ones. Take 3 of them. These are the bigger squares. Put them in the back of here. And see, you don't have to, you see how I got ink all over that? I don't have to worry about it because you're not going to see the back part. You're just going to see the front. My fingers are so dirty right now from all this ink. It's so funny. So just did that. Take off the backing. And then, again, take your glossy accents. And a little, remember, a little goes a long way. And with the glossy accents, I find you don't want to really squeeze. You just want to let it flow out. Because if you squeeze, too much comes out. So here's this, and I'm just gonna kind of place it on here how I want it. So I'm like, okay, it's kind of the area that I want it in. Move it up just a little bit, move it to the side just a little bit, and press it down. So here we go. Now, to give it a distressed look, all I did was I took the Q-tip again, the other side of the Q-tip, dip it in again. I'm doing it off camera, dipping it in, and then just inking the sides. And I really like this look. I'm sure if I had an actual inking tool, like the Ink Essentials or the ones from Tim Holtz, it would look so much better. But I have to do with what I have. I don't have the money to go out and get the, you know, the big tools and stuff like that. So I'm just using what I have. And who has Q-tips? Everybody has Q-tips at their house. Cotton balls, Q-tips, everybody has it. Makeup applicators, you can even use that. I've seen some people use that. I think it was Gina that I seen do that. So this is all I did. Go through and just ink up the sides. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so now I got it. I'm going to take my fingernails and I'm just going to distress them. Now, I learned this from someone here on YouTube, and I'll put her link down below. She did an ATC card, coffee break. I think that's what she called it. It's my favorite ATC card ever. I love coffee. And she said, hey, everybody has nails. Why not use them, right? Very true. So after you're done, you get that effect. Alrighty guys, well, I'm just going to finish distressing this, but here's the finished effect. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Thank you.